through the grapevine, somebody said they ain't gonna respond to me because I ain't ran nothing down. Man, have any one of you fool-ass niggas ever looked the other way and said, man, who have you ran down, nigga? You feel me? Who have you ran down? You feel me? We not talking about what other niggas doing around you or what you paying for, family. Who have you physically done made checked out, man? Hey, listen, I can say this and I stamp it. Strike me if I'm lying. I done made somebody meet that flat line. I'm not proud of it. I ain't glorifying it. I'm just saying, though. I done made a nigga meet the flat line before. You feel me? A few niggas can vouch for me, man. Cause, hey, listen, a few niggas can vouch for me.
NBA YoungBoy just crossed a line that had the entire internet in a frenzy. And now NLE Choppa's baby mama is straight up clowning him on Twitter, saying he's dissed YoungBoy more times this month than he's even talked to his own son. But this is where things really get crazy. YB just previewed a track aimed at Choppa's mom, and Shorty is not letting that slide. So yeah, let me break this whole situation down, because this beef just leveled up from rap shots to straight up disrespect. No cap. And to really understand how it even got this far, how we ended up with both sides dragging family into it, we gotta rewind. Back to when NLE Choppa was just a young dude out of Memphis, looking up to his favorite rapper, and take a wild guess who that was. NBA YoungBoy, gang. This isn't some made-up narrative either. Choppa has gone on record multiple times saying YB was his favorite artist.
YoungBoy my favorite rapper. I'm trying to be with YoungBoy, he my favorite rapper.
Back in 2019, it was really like that. Choppa was out here practically begging for a collab with YoungBoy. He was posting on his stories nonstop, name-dropping YB, saying stuff like, YoungBoy my favorite rapper, and I'm trying to work with YoungBoy. There was no subtlety to it at all. He made it very clear who he was trying to get in the studio with.
Since y'all want to post everything, you'll post it. YoungBoy my favorite rapper, fuck you talking about.
But here's the real tea. While Choppa was out here full-on fanboying, YoungBoy never really took him serious. From jump, YB looked at him like a goofy, like some wannabe, a basketball player, trying to rap and suddenly act tough. And if we're keeping it a buck, YoungBoy has always had a sharp eye for fake energy. He peeped Choppa's whole vibe early on, straight from the jump.c. Back then, Choppa was remixing YoungBoy songs nonstop. He did Through the Storm and flipped it into Through the Rain. Dude was studying YB's whole blueprint, flow, energy, delivery, everything. Folks in the comments were calling him NBA YoungBoy, light and discount YoungBoy. And honestly, they weren't lying. Shorty was biting heavy. Now let me take y'all to the first time things actually went left between them. March 2019, Choppa was on Instagram Live with his homies, and one of his boys started talking reckless about YoungBoy. His friend straight up said YB wasn't a real killer and called him out his name. Choppa tried to tell him to chill, probably because he knew they were live with mad people watching, but it was already too late. The clip started circulating and made its way back to YoungBoy fast. YB jumped on his own live that same day and addressed it. He said something like, "Ain't no killer. Who said I ain't no killer?" And you could tell he was heated. But here's the wild part, Choppa immediately went back live, trying to clean it up. This man was damn near emotional, talking about, YoungBoy, my favorite rapper. I want to make a song with him. I ain't beefing with nobody. But YoungBoy wasn't trying to hear any of that. In his mind, if you can't check your people when they disrespect him, then you just as guilty. That's street politics 101. And Y has lived by that code his whole life. Now this is where things really start heating up. Fast forward to 2023, when YoungBoy did that Rap Radar interview and said something that had the entire internet buzzing. He went at fake gangsters and the industry no names dropped, but everybody knew exactly who he was talking about. YB said, and I quote, "You look at all these rappers' videos, you're gonna see a gun in his video, right? But you gotta dig a little deeper sometimes, bro. Look at his mama. His mama ain't no gangster. So how the hell is he a gangster? You're gonna see a gun in his video, right?"
You're gonna see a gun in his video, right? You go to the next one, he got a gun in his video, right? Man, you gotta dig a little deeper sometimes, bro. All right, now look at his mama. His mama ain't no gangster, so how the fuck is he a gangster? That shit don't be adding up, bro.
Don't try to sit on.
Don't try it on. It's all entertainment.
Gang, when I tell y'all the streets knew exactly who he was talking about, there was no confusion at all. That was a clear shot at NLE Choppa and his entire image. YoungBoy was basically saying, if your mama ain't built like that, then you ain't built like that either. And let's really keep it real. Mama Choppa has been heavily involved in managing her son's career this whole time.
It's going down and you know where to be found. You don't need to check on your son.
Well, I hope what went down is that you washed them damn dishes.
The dishes. The dishes, mom.
The dishes.
All of this going on, you talking about the dishes.
Yeah.
The dishes. Okay.
I will your ass up. I'm not playing. I don't give a shit. I'm not playing with you. Take your ass to bed.
She a bird. She
She didn't hit me with a toaster. I'm calling child protective service.
How? So they can come remove your ass.
Do it again. I bet you won't. You hear me?
And it really went left from there. You hear all that chaos, all that energy, and instead of checking on her son, she's talking about the dishes. Yeah, the dishes. All this madness going on, and that's what the focus is. That clip alone had people looking at Mama Choppa sideways. She's been on interviews talking about keeping him out of trouble. POSTING, motivational quotes on Instagram, pushing pot. She's not a street figure at all, and that's exactly what YB was calling out. But trust me, that was only the beginning. The real beef didn't fully ignite until Choppa picked a side in that deadly war between YoungBoy and Lil Durk over King Von Steph. Remember when Lil Reese tweeted saying YB wasn't really on demon time, just rapping like everybody else? NLE Choppa slid right into the comments and said, "I stamped that, fam." And that was the moment YoungBoy mentally checked him off. Like, bet sits up with you 2.c. What a lot of people don't understand is that YoungBoy and Durk's beef was never just rap beef. People were really losing their lives behind that situation. When Von got killed in Atlanta, it sparked a whole war between Chicago and Baton Rouge. So when Choppa co-signed Lil Reese like that, he wasn't just tweeting, he was choosing a side in real street politics. And that wasn't a game at all.
It wasn't never with me picking a side. Honestly, bro, I barely read what Lil Reese said. I barely really read what he said. I just know what he was saying was siding with my boy Von. If you would have asked me what Lil Reese tweeted, I wouldn't have been able to speak it word for word. I wouldn't have been able to tweet the whole tweet, because at the end of the day, that wasn't the purpose behind it. Like being on the side of just trying to be in some shit. It was just out the simple fact, like, bro don't be able to defend his name, and like I just feel like with street stuff, if you did it, if that was your work, if you did all this and do that, speak freely of it, speak highly of it. You got every right to do it.
January 2022's, that's when YoungBoy dropped I Know and went straight for Choppa's neck. And nah, this wasn't no subliminal play. This was a full-on diss. Why was talking about Choppa's mama crying, seeing him in a coffin, saying he wanted his soul. Dude was basically sending death threats through melodies, and the whole hip-hop world was sitting there like, damn, why be going this hard on this young dude? Fast forward to 2024, and this is where NLE Choppa made what might be the biggest mistake of his career. Out of nowhere, he drops KOA whole music video aimed directly at NBA YoungBoy. And the timing? Super suspect. This was right when YoungBoy was on top of the game, crazy numbers, sold out shows, tours going stupid. Choppa saw all that motion and clearly wanted a piece of that smoke. Now, I'll be fair. The KO video was on some artistic type underscore. He had YoungBoy portrayed like a puppet on strings, calling him a slave to the system. Choppa dancing around with YB's head, doing all kinds of choreography. It was creative, I'll give him that. But it also came off desperate. Bro probably spent 6 figures on that video just to get YoungBoy to say his name. But here's what really happened. YoungBoy peeped the play immediately. He knew Choppa was clout chasing, trying to use his name to stay relevant. So what did YB do? He ignored him completely. Didn't give him the reaction he was fishing for. Because real recognized real, and YB knew this whole move was cap. Now, he did mention Choppa in passing on a track, and what he said was cold. He basically said Choppa ain't never ran nothing down. That's street talk for saying this man ain't never put in real work, so he's not even worth responding to. That's a different level of disrespect. Straight up calling him a fake killer, who don't really live that life. So what does Choppa do next? He drops another diss. Hello revenge. Just weeks later, now he's really forcing it, getting more desperate by the day. The video had Bible verses and everything, trying to frame it like some righteous mission, but everybody saw through it. This wasn't about principles, this was clout chasing at its finest, and that's where the aftermath really begins.
I think he doing this whole YB diss stuff because he's trying to get the attention of a lot of people. I think bro got something else planned. Like that's the feeling I got. Like all this YB diss stuff, I think it's just to get everybody attention. Like the dance moves, the choreography. I think NLE trying to show us like he not a one-trick pony. Like he can do it all. At this point, these disses ain't really disses. If y'all get me
Now here's where things get really wild. Just a few weeks ago, YoungBoy previewed a snippet this time. He wasn't aiming at Choppa directly. He went straight at NLE Choppa's mama. And the second that preview hit the internet, everybody already knew. This situation had officially crossed into a whole different lane.
Choppa's mama.
Look at him. He's not grown. He's still a little pooty poo. Oh, shut up!
I'm not even gonna repeat exactly what YoungBoy said because, trust me, it was disrespectful as hell. Let's just say he went at her appearance and straight up called her out her name, the The internet lost it the second that snippet dropped. Everybody knew YB had crossed a major line. But hold up, it gets worse. NLE Choppa responded, "Damn man, he really went off the deep end." He hopped on Instagram Live talking about how YoungBoy ain't really a killer, claiming he just pays people to handle his dirty work. And then this is where it gets straight up wild. Choppa started claiming he'd actually killed somebody before, like he straight up self-snitched on Instagram Live, talking about making somebody meet the flatline.
Through the grapevine, somebody said they ain't gonna respond to me, cause I ain't ran nothing down. Man, have any one of you fool ass niggas ever looked the other way and said, man, who have you ran down, nigga? You feel me? Who have you ran down? You feel me? We not talking about what other niggas doing around you or what you paying for, family. Who have you physically done made checked out, man? Hey, listen, I can say this and I stamp it. Strike me if I'm lying. I done made somebody meet that flat line. I'm not proud of it. I ain't glorifying it. I'm just saying, though. I done made a nigga meet the flat line before. You feel me? A few niggas can vouch for me, man. Cause, hey, listen, a few niggas can vouch for me.
Gang, let me keep it 100 with y'all. What Choppa just did was hands down the dumbest move he could have made. You don't hop on social media talking about bodies, especially when you're trying to prove you're harder than somebody else. That ain't street, that's just straight up reckless. Real killers move in silence. They don't get on Instagram Live flexing about it. Now, let me break down how this beef really looks from a street lens. YoungBoy's got credibility in these streets that Choppa just can't touch. EB's been through real situations. He's been shot at, been to jail multiple times, lost homies to the streets. His music reflects that pain and those experiences. Choppa, on the other hand, dude was a basketball player who transitioned into rapping. He hasn't lived through that kind of real street life. His mama's been running the show, managing his career, keeping him out of trouble, making sure he stays on the right path.
Y'all need to stop the cap and stop trying to throw NBA YoungBoy and him in the same category. They don't have no beef. They ain't got no issue. It's none of that. Stop bringing that shit out, because everybody's tired of it. That's not the case. You starting stuff and you starting beef that has no relevance. They do not, absolutely do not have an issue with one or the other. Leave that shit alone. Point blank, period.
There's nothing wrong with being managed or protected, but you can't turn around and act like you're some street legend when that's not your reality. And here's the part that had me laughing the hardest. NLE Choppa's baby mama, Marissa, hopped on Twitter and went at her own baby daddy. She basically said, paraphrasing, that Choppa has dissed NBA YoungBoy more times this month than he's talked to his own son. She's straight up laughing at him online, calling him a clown for the way he's been moving. Think about that for a second, fam. Your own baby mama is clowning you on the internet because you're so obsessed with getting attention from another rapper that you're neglecting your own kid. That's some pathetic energy right there. Marissa went on, saying she's embarrassed by how Choppa's been acting, pointing out that he's making himself look foolish, chasing YoungBoy for a response. She even said she's tired of people asking her about the beef because it's making her and their son look bad by association, and the streets have been talking to people are saying Choppa looks desperate, like he'll do anything for a little buzz. He went from being a young artist with potential to looking like a complete goofy dissing people's mamas, self-snitching about murders, all just for attention. Here's the bigger picture. This whole beef shows the difference between real street credibility and manufactured drama. YoungBoy, whether you like him or not, has always been consistent. He doesn't need to chase clout or start beef for attention. The streets already know what time it is. Choppa, on the other hand, has been trying to reinvent himself every few months. First, he was the young wild boy from Memphis. Then he went spiritual herbs, healthy living, third eye talk, selling BBL pills. Now he's back acting like a killer. The inconsistency is showing, and people are seeing right through it.
The fact that his own baby mama is publicly laughing at him says it all. When the people closest to you are calling you out for being fake, that's when you know you've lost the plot completely. What's really crazy is how Choppa went from making songs called Free Young Boy when YB was locked up to now dissing him and his mama. That's no loyalty, no principles. He'll switch up on anybody if he thinks it benefits him. At the end of the day, this whole situation is a textbook example of what happens when you try to use someone else's name for clout. Choppa thought he could get attention by going at the hottest rapper in the game, but all he did was expose himself as desperate, willing to cross any line for a little shine. YoungBoy played it perfectly, ignored the obvious clout chasing, responded only when necessary, and let Choppa destroy his own rep. Now we've got Choppa's baby mama laughing at him, the internet clowning him, and his credibility completely shot. The lesson is simple, gang. Stay in your lane and build your own buzz. Don't ride another man's wave, because it always backfires. Choppa went from promising young artist to looking like a complete joke, all because he couldn't resist chasing YoungBoy's attention. For everyone watching, real recognize real, and fake always gets exposed eventually. The streets are watching, and they see exactly what type of energy both these artists are on. Choppa can drop all the diss tracks he wants, but at the end of the day, he's still going to be remembered as the goofy who was begging to work with YoungBoy just a few years ago. What y'all think about all this? Can Choppa come back from this? Or is his reputation completely cooked? The streets are watching, and the tea is hot. Keep it 100, fam.